Creating Accessible Word Documents, Chapter 4, List Structure. This training video is produced by the Accessibility and Policy Unit of the California Department of Social Services. The bases for this criterion are WCAG 1.3.1, Info and Relationships, Information, Structure, and Relationships conveyed through presentation can be programmatically determined or are available in text, and WCAG 1.3.2, Meaningful Sequence, when the sequence in which content is presented affects its meaning, a correct reading sequence can be programmatically determined. Lists are used to group related information in a logical and linear order. Lists may also be used to itemize information. In Microsoft Word, when a list is used, it must be created using the list feature in the paragraph settings. To create a list for this content, you can highlight, and under the paragraph settings in the Home tab, we can choose either a bulleted list or a numerical list. For this case, we will select a bulleted list. Oftentimes, users wish to apply specific formatting to the visual aspect of a list, such as adding space between items. If spacing is needed, it must be applied using either the line and paragraph spacing within the paragraph styles or a soft return, Shift plus Enter. Improper spacing in lists within a Microsoft Word document will result in a broken list and must be fixed. Each item in a broken list acts as its own stand-alone list, and therefore losing its relationship to the other items in the list. Here we have a list with the spacing incorrectly applied. We can tell that the spacing was not done correctly because when we click in between list items, our list icon in our paragraph styles is not selected. This is an example of a broken list. To properly create spacing in a list, there are two options. One is to use a soft return, which is on your keyboard, holding Shift and pressing Enter in between each bullet. Shift, Enter. With that list, we have the same visual spacing as up above. However, now we can tell when clicked in the space, our bulleted icon is selected. The other way to apply spacing is using the line and paragraph spacing options. Select your content, apply a list using the paragraph styles, and under line and paragraph spacing options, select line spacing options. Line spacing 1.5, and uncheck this box for don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. Now we have spacing applied here as well. This one is a little different. We cannot click in those spaces. However, the entire list is one list with spacing applied. Lists may also include sublists or a list within a list. A sublist is visually depicted with an indent from the main list. A screen reader will not verbally identify spacing, so another means must be used to convey the sublist. A sublist must have different labels or markers from the main list, such as bullets. When different labels are used, the screen reader will differentiate between those labels, thus identifying varying list levels. Here, the sublist, County Probation Department and Child Welfare Social Worker, are identified with open bullets versus the main list items are identified with a closed bullet. The accessibility checker cannot check for these errors. A manual check of the document is necessary to ensure all lists within the document are properly assigned. For more information about this topic or any of the topics in our series, contact the Accessibility and Policy Unit at accessibilitypolicyunit@dss.ca.gov.